Hello, welcome everyone to the Smudging Sage Tarot. As always, let's take a moment to clear the air with the sage. Let the smoke guide us into stillness. In today's lesson, we enter a sacred pause, a necessary breath between the storms. After the Three of Wands, that emotional weight, the Four of Swords offers peace, a space to rest, reflect, and gather strength. We are still in the suite of Swords, the air element. Here you go. Our thoughts, intellect, mental clarity, and communication, while swords often deal with conflict and pressure, this card is a welcome reprieve. The Four of Swords asks us to retreat, not out of fear though, but for restoration. Yeah. So, the Four of Swords symbolizes rest, as I said, recovery, and intentional withdrawal after mental or emotional strain. It's a moment of spiritual solitude and reflection, a pause between chapters. This card suggests that healing occurs in stillness, and sometimes the most important work is non-doing. So the key themes in this card are rest and recovery, reflection and solitude, mental exhaustion and burnout as well, preparation for what's next, sacred stillness and silence. Not by chance, this person is depicted in a church or in what looks like a church. So the symbolism is this reclining figure, a knight lies in repose, not dead, but resting. This is a chosen stillness, a spiritual time out. It reminds us that retreat is not defeat. While, the Three of Swords, the three swords above and one below, this is a symbol of, those three swords are like from the Three Swords card, okay? Are suspended overhead, past pain acknowledged, but set aside. The four swords all together, the fourth, okay, beneath the figure, symbolize clarity gained through rest. So, stained glass window, here you go, here, a symbol of spiritual insight, healing, and divine light, often interpreted as a blessing or reminder of faith during rest. In guided tarot, this card is described as a sacred space, a mental retreat to heal and realign. In Tarot by Tina Gong, it's connected to the yin energy of reflection, emphasizing stillness as a source of renewal. In numerology and astrology, the number 4 talks about stability, foundation, structure. Here it reflects mental rest and emotional grounding. It also reminds of the Emperor, right? The number 4 in astrology is often associated with Jupiter. You know, when, let me see, I show you the symbol of Jupiter. So, when you have the symbol of Jupiter, the planet, this is the symbol of Jupiter, or like this, okay? And it really looks like a number 4. And also is a reference to the Libra, Jupiter in Libra. So it's about expansion through balance, okay? Jupiter in Libra. Fairness and inner harmony, which is Libra. So, what is the meaning of the 4 of Swords when appears like this upright in a reading? It urges us to take a break and retreat from the noise. Whether we are recovering from conflicts, stress, or decision fatigue, this card encourages a period of rest. It's not laziness. It's essential healing. Basically, we human beings, during the sleep, we heal. The body works to repair it, okay? This is under a biological point of view, cellular point of view. It's super important. A person deprived of sleep, of rest, dies. There are no doubts. So, let's give ourselves time to process what happened before jumping into action. Mental clarity will return when we give ourselves room to breathe and rest. So let's give some examples, okay? If it shows up in a love and relationship reading, okay? A break may be needed, space to reflect before re-engaging. For example, you and your partner agree to a short separation to reflect and heal before facing your next step. In a work and career drawing, it's time off. It's about time off. It's like really necessary after stress or burnout. Prioritize mental health and clarity, for example, after completing a major deadline. Okay, you take a short sabbatical or mental health day to recovery. Guys, this is golden because at least me, I have never been taking a real break until I took a break and I couldn't go back. As easy as I thought back to regular work life, because I was so burned out. So it's very important to withdraw, rest, rehearse ourselves before to be burned out. And of course, it's even more important if we have already burned out. Anyway, in a personal and spiritual growth reading, it talks about a phase of introspection and quiet spiritual renewal. For example, you take a weekend retreat, okay? Unplug from technology and meditate in silence to reconnect with yourself. So, what is the meaning of this card when it's upright? I mean, in reverse, RX. Reversed, the Four of Swords can indicate burnout, restlessness, or refusal to slow down. We may be ignoring the signs of mental or emotional fatigue. Alternatively, it may mean you have rested long enough. It's time to re-enter the world. So the advice here is to honor our energy. If we are pushing past our limits, okay, it's time to pause. If we have been hiding in rest to avoid discomfort, gently step back into engagement. Know when to rest and know when to rise. It's very much about discernment. Yes, my dear friends. It's about the swords. So it's all about the intellect, the discernment. If you want to know more about what I'm saying, watch the video about the Ace of Swords. Anyway, love in love a relationship, when this card shows up in reverse, it's talking about avoiding unnecessary conversations by staying distant, or coming out of a period of silence. For example, you have been emotionally shut down in your relationship, but now feel ready to open your heart again. Of course, this applies to me too. Sometimes I say we, sometimes I say you, but you, it's another perspective of me. So if you hear that I say you, know that I'm referring to me too. It's always like talking to a mirror, okay? So what does it mean when this card shows in reverse in a working career spread, okay, reading? It's about overworking or ignoring burnout symptoms, and I have been doing this for almost ever. If I want to share a personal experience. For example, you keep saying yes to projects despite feeling mentally exhausted. I had that. And it's starting to affect the focus, but even the mind, I can add. So, in spiritual and personal growth, okay, it talks about either avoiding inner work by staying too still, or emerging from stillness with clarity. Wow. For example, you have been in a hermit phase, but now you are feeling called to reconnect with the community and purpose. Exactly what happened to me. in this time. This Four of Swords is totally talking about me in this moment. If you are curious to know what I am referring to, watch the video called, let me see, I have just posted, an end, a vow, and the start of something new. Okay, I will put the link into this description box of this video. So, I want to leave. If you like this kind of content, please like, share, subscribe. Before we part away, I want to tell you some final words. The Four of Swords is a gentle guardian of our energy. It invites us into sacred rest, not as escape, but as preparation. Whether you are or we are healing from heartbreak or simply overwhelmed by life, this card reminds us that stillness is not stagnation. It is where the soul regathers its strength. And this is what I am going to do as soon as all the practical matters of my separation from my husband are done, are solved. I am going to stay in a time of rest to resource my energy, my heart, to fill up my cup. And then we can talk about work, and eventually we can talk about love. But the beginning of everything will be rest. So, thank you for being with me. I'll see you in the next video, and we will talk about the Five of Swords, the bully energy card.